Hello, everyone out there in internet land. I apologize for my finger being in the way of the video right there to start with. This is your first look of the 2025 from a rider's perspective. Got the bike Friday the 13th from Great Western Motorcycles in Statesville, North Carolina. The team there has been fantastically patient with me. I put money down on this bike August the 1st, and the color scheme is kind of rare right now. They're just now really starting to send these bikes to the U.S. I don't want to lie. I want to say I'm probably the third person in the nation, probably, and definitely the first person in North Carolina to actually own this particular color of the bike. So this is going to be a walk around of what the actual bike is. We're also going to give you a sound bite in this of what the exhaust sounds like. This bike is already warm. I just brought it back from work after working overnight. And there's going to be some modifications that I'm going to be doing to this. But today's video is basically the walk around, some of the differences that there are between the 2024 and 2025. And they're not many. As a matter of fact, it's only one. The only modifications they really made to it was they added 7 more millimeters of thickness to the seat in the middle and 4 more on the sides right there. The seat is super comfy. I believe it's got a 31.1-inch seat height. It's very approachable, 427 pounds, I believe, or maybe 421, soaking wet with fuel, ready to ride. And that is pretty much all the differences between the 2024 and 2025. But let's go ahead and get you a sound bite going here. Turn the engine on, let you hear what it sounds like already warmed up. And like I said, I apologize again for my fingers getting in the way of the video right here, but I wanted to shoot it in widescreen so that you guys will be able to really appreciate that. Gorgeous TFT display. You can see I'm at 122 degrees, so it is pretty much ready to kind of give it a nice little rev. Gorgeous bike. It is what it says it is. It is Kawasaki without a doubt. But today's video is going to pretty much be a quick tutorial of how to turn on your Bluetooth so that you can use the Rideology app. Now, I will say this, the Rideology app does not have exactly what you would call the ravest of reviews out there. I believe it is currently rated 1.7 stars on the Google Play Store. Not sure what it would be in the Apple Store. But just to let you guys know, the reason for that is the Rideology app is kind of, not necessarily in its infancy, but it needs some improvements. And I think one of the improvements I would suggest is making sure that if this thing is 5 or 10 miles away from my gear, that I would like to know that it's on the move without my gear and my phone. So that's a good thing on that. I will not be modifying the exhaust on this. And the main reason being that I'm saying that is this is a welded on exhaust right here. There's nothing you can slip on or off, no bolts that you can take off or anything else like that. So to modify the exhaust, you would have to take it all the way off from the headers all the way up. The only difference that you're really going to do by changing the exhaust on this, you will be shedding some of the weight from the catalytic converter right there. But when you're removing the cat and all that, then you're going to lose back pressure. You're going to change your air to fuel mixture. It's going to need to be tuned. And it's a 649 parallel twin, not an inline 4, 649cc bike with a 180-degree crank. So modifying that exhaust with a 180-degree crank is really not going to make that much of a difference. The only thing it's going to do is make it louder, make it to where you have to tune it. You're probably going to lose some fuel efficiency in there somewhere in that, and it will make the deer run and the other people get out of your way, which is not a bad thing because my first bike, I've been riding since May of 2006. So we're looking at like 18 years plus of actively riding, but I started riding in the 90s. This is my 8th motorcycle. It is my 5th Kawasaki. I love Kawasaki. I'm gonna flat out say it. They build these things to truly, what they say, let the good times roll. But let's get into the simple part of how to set up your Bluetooth. And this is also great. The TFT display, like I said, is gorgeous. Once you set up your Bluetooth, if you get a text message, you can see the Bluetooth is already on up underneath the trip A right there. So I've already done this before because I've tried to shoot this video I don't even know how many times, mainly just because I'm apologizing that I don't have access to my garage right now. So this is being filmed in the basement. And yes, my wife and I use this basement to store stuff. So I'll be wrench turning here a little bit. There's going to be some future videos too as well, but this one's just the quick walk around and how to use your Bluetooth. So what you need to do here is you have two buttons on the front, the left and the right, up underneath on the bottom part of your TFT display right here. The left acts like a selector, the right pretty much like an enter button. Hit both of these buttons down at the same time. That is going to take you to your main menu. Use the left button to go down to Bluetooth. Once that is highlighted, use the right button to select it, and then you will see it is actually paired to my Pixel 8 Pro. 8 Pro, wow, they got 8 Pro in there twice. You'll see a bunch of zeros on there. That number will change when you start to pair it using the Rideology app. Like I said, the Rideology app is not exactly the greatest of reviews for right now, but that's pretty much the general setup on that right there. Once again, great props to my guys at Great Western Motorcycles that were patient with me while I was getting this bike. They have two locations, one in Statesville, North Carolina, not too far from Charlotte, and one in Hickory, and both dealerships were very, very kind to me. We'll also take a look really quick at the LEDs of how they work. The LEDs on the back are super bright. Everything is full LED, including tail lights, turn signals, including the front turn signals as well. And these headlights are on low beam. That is stadium bright at this point right now. Hitting the high beam on this, you could probably go and see for days out there and definitely blind people. This is a very aggressive looking bike as far as the headlights go, and it does wonderfully. I work at night, and it is a fantastic bike for me. Like I said, it's super comfy. Ergonomically, the seating position is fantastic on this bike. To me, I know it can compare with like other bikes like the CBR 650, the Yamaha R7, even the Aprilia RS 660, which all are fantastic bikes. Like I said, you know, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Some of them stink. You might want to change your exhaust, even though I said, you know, it's probably not worth it. That's up to you. As a rider, for me, I'm not going to track or race this bike. It is not something I'm going to do for that. This is going to be modified for me to be a little bit more of a sport touring bike. So be on the lookout for future videos, especially the one that's going to go at the front. So we're going to start from the back of what the future videos you're going to have are going to be. We are going to be installing a tail tidy later on, and that is a little bit of an arduous task. I am a guy who likes to turn wrenches on his bikes, so it will be here to help you. That's what I'm here to do. I don't care if you want to like, comment, or subscribe. I'm not going to set up all those nice little bells and whistles in the middle of the video for you to click on this or click on that or anything else like that. I'm just not going to do that. I am a rider who enjoys the passion of riding, and anybody else that enjoys that passion as well and needs a little bit of help, I'm going to show you how to do it from novice to expert, as much as I can be an expert on it for as many of these bikes that I've owned, of how to do that. So the future videos will be the tail tidy. We're going to start right there. How to install some rear spools on the back right there to use a jack stand. And then a Nelson rig tail bag for the back right here. And then as we move to the front, starting on the right, we're going to be adding an Atlas throttle lock, or actually it's going to be a cheap knockoff version of the Atlas throttle lock. And the other parts are going to be factory OEM stuff. I will be adding a Terra clamp by Scosche. That does also not have very good reviews because people are, well, there's going to be a simple trick for it, and it will amaze you how well it works. But when you first install it, it will shake and get kind of loose on you. But I will explain that in a future video on that. So all these are going to be future videos. How to install the DC power outlet right here. I have one that's a USB 3.0 and C-type, 45 watts on each. So for some fast charging, that way I can get my navigation going for when I'm crushing miles. And that's why I'm going to be crushing miles on this bike. And the factory OEM taller windscreen for this so that you can get a little bit less buffeting while going down the highway. But this is your first look of that. Once again, props to all my guys at Great Western Motorcycles of Statesville, North Carolina. Salesman Gypsy, sales manager Jeremy, other guys that I met there, Jesse, a couple of others, and a few guys, Derek, Cody, a couple others, and the Hickory operation right there, while they were extremely patient while I got the bike right here. Stay safe out there and let the good times roll, everybody. Once again, this is JBone073 with your first look of the Kawasaki Ninja 2025 year model in the metallic spark black and old school green. Let the good times roll.